Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com and I am here with another Sew With Me video. This video is in collaboration with Monica of That's So Monica for the hashtag Sew Your View month of March. And the pattern that we're going to be using is Mccalls 7726. In this video, I'm going to be sewing view B. However, if you would like to make the wide leg version view D, you can watch that video here. So now let's get into the size that I cut, the fabric that I used, and the notions that you'll need to make these pants. For size, I went with the size 18 and I love the fit of them. I didn't have to make any other modifications or adjustments to the pants. For fabric, I went with the cotton twill that I found online at fabric.com. When I first received the fabric, I was a little nervous about it because it felt a little rough, but after pre-treating it, it softened up really nice and it was great to sew with. For notions, you're going to need a 9-inch zipper. You're also going to need one hook and bar. Not a hook and eye that you would put maybe in the back of a blouse, but you need a hook and bar that will go in the waistband of maybe a skirt and pants. So once you have all your notions together, go ahead and cut out your pattern and your fabric. Transfer all of your markings. It's really important that you transfer all of them because in some steps we're going to need to reinforce some of those markings and you need to know where they are to reinforce them. So make sure you transfer all your markings and notch all of your notches and we can get started.
Alright everybody, so let's get started. You can see here I have all of my markings transferred. Make sure that you have yours as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to begin working on our front pattern pieces. These are my two front pieces and you should have transferred a large circle up on the upper side edge of your pant. I'm just going to go over mine so you can see it a little bit better. We are going to reinforce this large circle. To reinforce, just stitch an inch above and an inch below all the way through the circle. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so once you have it reinforced, go ahead and grab your scissors and you're going to clip to the large circle. Don't clip through it, just clip to it like I'm doing here. So go ahead and do yours the same way. Okay, so now that you have your large circle that you snipped to it, I'm going to go ahead and flip my pant so that the right side is up facing me now. So from here, we're going to go ahead and grab our pocket piece, which is piece 8, and you can match up your dots as well as your notches that you have transferred. Make sure the pocket piece is right sides together with the pants. And so just go ahead and line that up. Once you have it lined up, grab your pins and then just begin pinning it in place. Once you have it pinned, go ahead and start from the dot all the way down to the side of the pan, basting that in place now. So again, start at the dot and go all the way to the side. Alright, so now that you have the pocket basted on to your pan, first you want to trim that seam allowance down. So go ahead and grab your scissors and trim some of that away. Once you have it trimmed, go ahead and give it a press and turn it to the inside. So now my pocket has been pressed and turned to the inside. So now what we're going to do is move that to the side and we're going to grab our piece 9, which is our side front. On the piece 9, you should have transferred a large circle right here and we're going to do the same exact thing as far as reinforcing it. So stitch about an inch above and then pivot and then sew about another inch just to reinforce that large circle. Okay, I have my reinforced. You're going to go ahead and grab your scissors and we're going to clip diagonally to that large circle. Don't clip through it, just clip to it and it should look a little something like that. I'm going to do my other one the same exact way. So you go ahead and clip to your circles now. Alright, so now I have one of my front pants pieces and I have the right size up facing me. So what you're going to do, you're going to take one of your piece 9s and right size to right size, you're going to stitch one of the side front sections to the side edge of your pants above that large circle that we transferred, the one that we clipped to. That's why it's important not to clip through it, just to clip to it. So go ahead and pin it in place now. So once you have your side front pin, you're going to stitch from the top all the way down to that large circle that you transferred. So let's do that now. While I was at my machine, I went ahead and serged and finished off that edge and I gave it a press toward the center of the pant. So go ahead and give yours a good press and you can finish off your seam if you want. The next step is for us to sew off our pocket. So go ahead and pin your pocket pieces only together. You're not pinning your pants, so just pin your pocket pieces now. Once they're pinned, you're going to stitch across the top of the pocket and all the way around to the side. So go ahead and stitch yours together now. Alright, so now that I have my pocket pieces sewn, I also finished off my edges with my serger, so you can go ahead and do yours if you would like. Our next step is to do a little top stitching. So go ahead and turn your pants so the right side is up facing you. You're going to top stitch right along that seam, and then you want to top stitch your pocket opening. What you don't want to do is stitch your pocket closed. So be sure to just top stitch along and stop right there at the large dot. And then you want to continue that stitch along the pocket opening. So let's go ahead and sew that now. All right, so now that my top stitching is done and I've also basted my pocket to the side of my pants, now we can move on over to step 9. For step 9, we're going to finish off the back and the front self facings at the lower and front opening edges. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish off all of my edges, my seams. That's optional, but definitely make sure that you finish off the lower and front opening of the self facing. So now that the self facings are finished, we want to go ahead and fold them along that fold line that I know you transferred. Go ahead and fold it along the fold line, and only on the right front opening are we going to baste it. On the other ones, we're just going to fold it down and press, but on the right front opening edge, will we baste it together. So let's baste that now. Okay, so once you have it basted, right here you can see that my edges are finished as well as folded over, and only on my right did I baste down that front opening with the self-facing. So now with the front pieces right sides together, what we're going to do is you want to stitch them together with the regular stitch between that notch and that large circle that you transferred. So go ahead and pin there. We're going to do a regular stitch between there. However, above that large circle, we're just going to baste that in place all the way up to the top of our self-facing. Be sure to leave your left self-facing free. So go ahead and pin in place where we're going to be basting. So now we're going to baste again from the top of the self-facing, the right self-facing to the dot, and then regular machine stitch between the circle and that notch. All right, so your pants should look a little something like this. Again, it should have been basted above that large circle and then regular stitched below. So for the next step, so working on your left front extension, you're going to fold it along the fold line and then give it a good press. So again, on the left front extension only, you should have transferred that fold line. You're going to fold back the front extension and then give it a good press. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so once you have it pressed, it should look a little something like this. And now I'm going to go ahead and fold my pants the same exact way that the diagram shows on step C of 10. So it's always good to have your pattern directions close by so we can check out the diagrams as we sew. So go ahead and grab your zipper, and as you can see, mine is a little bit long, so I'm going to have to shorten it. And if yours is long too, all you have to do, I just do back and forth zigzag stitches where I need it, and then I cut an inch below that. So I just shortened my zipper. Really easy and simple to do. So now what you want to do is just place your zipper right under the left front extension. Make sure that your zipper teeth are facing up toward you, and you want to make sure that you are lining up the zipper stop with your large circle and your zipper teeth close to that press edge. So go ahead and pin it in place like I'm doing here. Once you have it pinned, go ahead and take it to your sewing machine and sew close to that pressed edge. Okay, I'm back. I have my zipper sewn close to the press edge of my left front extension. And so the next step, we want to pin the remaining zipper tape to the right front extension. So I'm only working on the right front extension. I'm just going to pin the remainder of my zipper tape to that. So go ahead and pin yours in place now. Be sure that you do fold back the top of that zipper stop on the right side. So go ahead and pin that back. All right, so once you have it pinned, go ahead and take it to your machine. And remember, you're only stitching it to the right front extension, not to your pants. So now the next step, we are on step E of 10. And what we're going to do now is just turn the right front extension toward the front of the pants and baste it in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and put pins in mine. And once I have it pinned, I'm going to just take it to the machine and just baste it in place to the front of the pants. So go ahead and do that to yours as well. So now the last step of 10 is F, and on the outside, we are just going to sew along that stitching line. If yours faded off, just go ahead and retrace it and just go ahead and do your stitch now. So now we are all done with our fly. How exciting is that? If this is your first time, congratulations, you got a front fly. So let's move on to our next step, which is step 11. Now we can finally grab the backs of our pants. So at right sides facing, we're going to go ahead and stitch our inner leg seam now. So go ahead and line up your notches and pin there. put a couple pins down the length of the pants and go ahead and stitch them in place now. Once you have your seams sewn, go ahead and give them a press. Do it for both legs. So now we can move on to step 12 and go ahead and finish up our crotch seam. So first you want to line up those inner leg seams and pin there. And then pin down the remainder of the crotch. Once you have it all pinned, go ahead and stitch it together now. So once you have your crotch sewn, the next step for us to do, and we are at step 13 now, is to sew our side seams together. So with right sides facing, go ahead and grab your pins and start pinning your side seams in place now. Now that you have them pinned, go ahead and sew both of your side seams down. Okay, y'all, so we are down to our finishes. We are almost done. I'm going to move around a little bit. I'm going to go to step 15 and we'll come back to 14. For 15, you want to baste along the upper edge of your pants close to the fold, and then you want to baste on all of your pleat lines. So go ahead and put all of your basting stitches in now. So once you have them basted, you're going to bring those broken lines together. So I'm working with just 2 lines. I'm going to bring them together on the inside to form the pleats. So you're going to be matching up those large circles and those basted lines. And to make sure that you are really on your line, you can stick a pin through to make sure it goes to the other side. Pin there. I'm also pinning at the top and at the bottom so I know where to start and when to stop. So again, just bring those broken lines together like I'm doing here. You want to go ahead and grab you a pin and then stick it through one side. Make sure that it goes through the other so that you are in fact on your basted line. And then you can put a pin at the top so you know where to start at, and then put a pin at the bottom so you know where to stop, just in case you really can't see your stitching, because I could not see mine with that red. So go ahead and stitch between those large circles. So now your pleats should look a little something like this. So what you want to do now is press your pleats toward the centers. And now we're going to go ahead and do top stitching along our pleats. So you're going to top stitch pivoting at those large circles. So check out your diagram at step 17 to see exactly what I mean by pivots, and go ahead and do your top stitching now. Okay, so I have my top stitching done. So now I'm going to go ahead and revisit step 14. So go ahead and grab your needle and thread. And what you want to do is you want to slip stitch that left front self facing down to that zipper tape. So go ahead and grab your needle and thread and then just start slip stitching your self-facing as I'm doing here. So now once you have it all done, don't put your needle away too quick. Go ahead and grab your hook and bar, and you can go ahead and attach that to your pants as well. All right, so once you have your hook and bar attached, we are just about done. Next, we're going to move on to our hem. So go ahead and try on your pants and mark up your hem, finish off your edge as well, and you can hand sew it or you can machine stitch it, whichever works for you. Go ahead and hem your pants now like I've done here. I went ahead and stitched mine with my machine. Next, you want to go ahead and grab your carrier piece, and you want to fold it with right sides together and go ahead and stitch it down lengthwise. Be sure to leave those short sides open so we can turn it out. I went ahead and I completed one right here and edge stitched both of those long side edges. So now you can cut your carrier piece into 3 equal sections. The sections need to be 3.5 inches long. And then you can go ahead and fold in 5/8 of an inch on both of the ends. So once you have that folded under, go ahead and grab your pants, and you should have transferred some squares. So go ahead and find your squares, and then you just want to stitch through all thickness at the top of the bottom of your carriers. So go ahead and pin them in place, and you are all done with your pants. Thank y'all so much for joining me for another tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them for me below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Blessings, everyone. Bye.